you're a Leo born July 23rd to August 22nd, what can you expect for the month of April 2020? Let's tune in and find out. Wow. So, Leos, you have so much to say. Like, I have this bubble right here that's like, ah, like just, you really want to roar, right? I just feel like you really want to roar. So, there's a lot of energy here, anger, frustration, like, wake up. Whew, just a lot of energy right smack in the middle of the heart. So there's a real desire to shake people awake and to get people to listen and to follow orders or to follow along or to get in line or to wake up, you know, depending on which side you're on here or how you're interpreting life. But it doesn't matter. You're all experiencing the same thing, which is just like this energy of like needing to be heard and wanting people to wake up. So when I ask, I've been asking all the signs, why is this, meaning the pandemic, the virus, the times that we're living in right now, why is this happening for you? Because I like to look at the signs and see overall for the sign, why is it happening for Leos? So let's ask that question and see, why is this happening for Leos? Well, okay, it's happening for you so that you will speak up, so that you'll have a platform, so you'll be heard, and also so that you will listen to what you're saying. And to what you're saying, is that going to make sense to other people? Or are you just saying, are you just talking to be heard? Are you just talking to take up space? Are you just talking to be the megaphone, right? So this is happening for you so that you can actually listen to yourself, hear what you're saying, and is that really the message you want to give? Is that really who you want to be in the world? Are you somebody who's professing gloom and doom? Is that who you want to be? Are you somebody who's being Pollyanna? Is that who you want to be? Are you somebody who is blaming others? Are you somebody who is like bashing the system? Like, is that who you want to be? So listen to yourself. And if it is how you want to be, how are you delivering it? Can it be heard? Based on your delivery, can people take that in? Or you're turning people away, right? So you may be saying what you want to say, but you want to double check the way you're saying it to see if people can take it in. So you've got a voice, you've got a platform, you have an opportunity to be heard. You're being asked to listen. One, is it in alignment with who you really are? The message that you're saying or what you want to say. And two, can they hear it the way that you're saying it, right? Can the public hear it? Can your friends hear it? Can your family take it in, right? If not, then these are all adjustments that you're being asked to make within yourself so that you can have a better life, so that you can expand and use your gifts in the world. So this is why a lot of this is happening, to get you to slow down, to listen to what you're saying, and to shape shift it into a message that can be consumed, that people will take it in and appreciate it and understand it and then be called to action, right? So beautiful. That's a beautiful opportunity for you, Leos. Wow. Very powerful and so appropriate for Leos. All right, so let's look more specifically at romantic relationships, Leos. So those of you that are in a committed romantic relationship, what's in store for you for April? Well, I feel like you maybe have had some worries on your plate, wondering what to do, how to do it. But I see that there's a nice balance in your relationship and connection in your relationship and listening to your partner and taking in your other partner's ideas and conversations. And there's a real camaraderie that's happening in your apartment and in your relationship, not in your apartment, maybe in your apartment, I don't know, but in your relationship. And so I really feel like in April, it's just going to get more in alignment, more connection. And there may be some things potentially around the full moon April 7th in Libra that could create a little bit of an imbalance. There's something that needs to be brought up to be balanced. So other than that, I feel like this relationship is really going to open up and blossom, and you guys are going to continue to be on the same page or create being on the same page in April. Okay, so let's look at single Leos, what's in store for you? So, Leos, I just see you clearing the plate. I just see you like being done with the leftovers, being done. So, if you have some relationships that have just been kind of hanging out there, I just feel like they're going to dwindle. I just feel like they're going to die. And I feel like they need to. I feel like you need to have a clean plate, start over. And I feel like that's what April's going to happen for you, whether it's on the other person's side or whether it's your side or whether you've been talking to, several people and you just are done with all of them. There's an opportunity, there's a new moon in Taurus on April 22nd, and it feels like there's an opportunity there for you to settle into a greater sensitivity towards yourself. What do you want? How do you want to create your life? How do you want to be? There may be some of you that will be hiding out this month around relationships, not wanting to change things, afraid to make changes, afraid to let go. Like, it's not good for you. This isn't the best relationship for you, but you're still hanging on to it because it's better than being alone in a pandemic, right? But I feel like that at the end of the month, there might be this like, oh, it's just not worth it anymore. It's just like, like I feel like it's just strangling you. It's just like, oh, it's just not worth it. So I feel like by the end of the month, there's an opportunity for clarity. Now, that doesn't mean you'll take it, but there is clarity there at the end of the month. And that Taurus energy is there to support you in taking care of you and opening up doors for you and in creating what you want. So I do feel like there's some light shed for you on your relationships towards the end of the month. And then it's up to you to like go ahead and feel it and take actions around it. All right, let's look at your career, Leo, for the month. I feel like you guys are lucky, right? But it reminds me of like needing to make your own luck, breathing life into your own luck. And I think it's just a matter of you showing initiative and you slowing down and being willing to go, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to double down on this part of my business. I'm going to go full forward on this. Some of your careers are already in blossom and nothing's going to happen. It's going to keep morphing and opening up and new opportunities. But for those of you whose careers are dead, it's going to take you revitalizing your passion. And for some of you that will be needing money or education for you, trusting yourself, moving forward, letting go of some of the fear that you have about putting yourself in a wedge or being in a certain way. Sometimes, for you guys who are really smart, you can see 7 or 8 moves down and go, no, that's not going to work. Because in 5 years, that's going to happen. And you'll go try another career and you'll in your mind and you'll go, no, but in 3 years, that's going to happen. So you end up not doing anything and you're this brilliant individual because you have already seen all these dead ends, as opposed to going, what is the best thing for me today? Start moving that way, because what happens is if you're moving and your experience life, what'll happen is you'll along the way before you get to that dead end, you'll another wake up call and you'll be able to grab up and move up instead of hitting the wall, right? But so for those of you that get stuck and don't even get started, you're being asked to like slow down, make your own luck, be creative, and get excited and not look ahead 10 years. Look ahead for this week. Look ahead for this day. Is this good for me today? I'll ask about tomorrow, right? It's just asking you to get out of your own way today. Be present. And by doing that, you're going to see an expansion in your career, okay? So don't stop thinking about, is this going to be good for me in 3 years or 3 months or 5 years? Who knows? It's really about slowing down, because this is such a creative energy for you, and it's really up to your say-so, right? So if you're saying, hey, it's going to be good for 3 months, you'll find ways to make it good, because they're showing me this is a creative, empowering energy. But what you've been doing is you've been seeing like where the dead end meets, so then you haven't started because you like already see the dead end, but that dead end that you're seeing could be 3 years or 5 years down the road. So it's not ideal. So you want to let go of that ideal and realize that the way things are happening now is is all about change and momentum. It's not like, it's a different structure than in the 50s where, people had a factory job and they stayed there for 50 years, right? Or it's just different. So it's a new energy, and you're being asked to go and explore your career through that new energy. And April's gonna give you a lot of insights and momentum and creativity to start to explore your own gifts and how to express them in the world. All right, let's look at your money. And with that comes money. As soon as you start doing that, the money starts coming in. Like, I just see it start coming in. So you'll be surprised, and you just have to get out of your own head that says, oh, nobody's going to pay for that. No, there will be people who still have money and people who still will pay for things. But you've got to fit the need, right? So that's your job, is to be creative and to fulfill somebody else's need with your gift, and the money comes. All right, let's look at your health. Knees are coming up a little bit, Leo. Knees have to do with fear of moving forward, which makes sense given the conversation I was just having with you about your career and being able to see the roadblocks, so why you don't start or why you don't launch yourself into a new career. Is because you're seeing too far into the future, or your perceived future, and what we're telling you is all bets are off. Everything is, this energy that's coming in is a new dynamic energy that's very free-flowing and creative. And so any pains or aches in those knees have to do with the fear of moving forward. So one of the things you can do, sounds really silly, really weird, but it actually works. If you actually feel pain in your knees, right, you can put your hand on the knee and treat it like your best friend, and say to your knee, what do you want to tell me? What do you need to say? And then just start making it up. And let's say if your name is Bill, you can say, Dear Bill, and just start talking. And you'll be surprised at the information that comes up. You'll be surprised at what it says, because our thinking mind tells us one thing, but then the energy in the body tells us completely something different. So practice it, have fun with it. Don't make a big deal, but your knees, just take care of yourself. Be aware of the shoes that you're having, that you're walking in, right? Don't try and walk in shoes that aren't made for walking, right? Just be aware of your knees for this month, and talk to them and process the emotion. And you'll find that in many cases, the pain releases and lets go. Okay. Let's look at unexpected. Anything unexpected for Leos? Yeah, I do see some unexpected change that you don't like, whether you need to take a roommate because you can't afford to live alone anymore, or whether you let your house go because it's too expensive. Or, like I said, somebody's moving in with you, or or you're out of the goodness of your heart, you're letting somebody live with you because they're down on their luck. But I see some changes around your home, or you just moving in general, that's going to happen at the end of April or early May. And it makes you feel like you're shrinking, right? It just makes you feel like, oh, this is a bad idea. So you're going to have to just kind of work on your head and find the good things in this, and find a positive spin on things, because your mental health is important, your sanity is important, and you also want to remember that how you think about things is really important, and that we create with our mind. So, and when we're creating, if you've had a bad experience in the past, you're now bringing your past into your future. You're being asked not to create that way. You're being asked to let go of the past and create from this now, this moment, right here. And when you can create from here, you can have a whole different potential. A completely different outcome can happen. So just notice if you're creating from your past or not, and just like, nope, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to start fresh and new in this moment, and have a conversation with the person, or whatever is needed if you're the one who's looking to move in with somebody. But I just see changes around your home that are unexpected, but I feel like they're for the best, and I feel like you're going to look back on that time and go, you know what, that really worked out good for me. I'm really glad that we did that. We had that time that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So I think the unexpected outcome is that is really good and healthy for you in the long run. Okay. All right, Leos. Well, thank you so much for viewing and liking and connecting with me today. And if you have something to comment on, please do below. I would love to hear from you. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And thank you so much, Leos, for being that voice out in the world and being willing to listen and see, is that really the message you want to be sharing, and making sure that we can consume it, because I know you have something powerful to say that needs to be heard. Lots of love to all of you.